There's been some major developments in connection to the Top 5 stabbing that happened in London, including some updates from DJ Akademiks, as well as a whole bunch of London creators chiming in, giving way more details. We're going to get into all of that. But before we get into that, y'all know the drill. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe or you're dissing, and let me know in the comments what you think about everything that's unfolding in this crazy, crazy story. Now, I've made a couple of videos on this already, trying to make sure that I keep everybody updated on this case as the news rolls in. And there's been a few different developments that I've heard from some UK creators. Big salute to Bouncer, big salute to Tankz. And they've given some pretty intricate details as far as things that we couldn't understand from the outside over here in Toronto in connection to what happened with Top 5 on Sunday night. Now, just to do a quick recap, it was the third night of the Wireless Festival. There was a bunch of different performances, including Popcorn and Vibes Cartel taking the stage. There was a whole bunch of more people in attendance from Toronto, like YG and FB from the Wassas gang. But in a turn of events, just a few hours after the Wireless Festival ended for the night, Top 5 was in a club in an area called Manor House. And from the details that I've been picking up from the different creators from the UK, that area, Manor House, is a pretty bad area over there in London, an area that you should technically not be in unless you're in there with somebody else who knows their way around the neighborhood. However, Top 5 did have a whole bunch of people with him, including a few goons from over there in London that he had tapped in with, that he was moving around with. So you would think that even if he was moving around in certain areas that are pretty grimy, that he'd be okay. But let's go over some of these videos. I want to start with a video from a gentleman named Bouncer who had a pretty good breakdown of this whole incident. And stick around to the end of the video where we give you the exact details of what happened with Top 5 via Akademiks, who spoke to Top 5 directly today. So big salute to Bouncer, who I'm about to start a video from right here. Bouncer apparently was security for a multitude of different UK artists from what he's explained in this video, as well as other videos. And he seems to know a lot about the intricacies of the behind the scenes of the UK scene, as well as the American scene from a lot of the different artists that seem to pop into town to, indulge in the whole UK culture when they come into town for shows. So let's go over some of the stuff that he said in this video.
When you come to London, when you come to Birmingham, Manchester, when you're in different areas in London, foreigners, because this is a message to you guys, please take us very serious, bro. It's all fun and jokes when you start talking about fish and chips and until something mad happens. And it's not even good to see. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The brother Top 5, just have a look, bro.
No, we coming.
Bro.
London streets, nigga. London streets, nigga. GGG. Big fight.
I'll be honest with you guys. You're in Manor House. You don't even know where you are. Even there. You're in Manor House. You're in the heart of what happens in Hackney. You're in the place where shit happened, bro. You don't even know where you are. And respectfully, guys, like, I urge you, look, you see, big shout out to security for what you lot do. But respectfully, on the streets, no one don't care about security like that. If something gets pulled on you, 9 times out of 10, security are not gonna want to put their life in front of what's gonna happen.
So as you can see from what he's breaking down in the video right there, and once again, make sure to go check out his channel. His channel is called Bouncer. He's a pretty dope UK creator. And he's saying that that area right there is no joke. He doesn't, it doesn't matter how much security that you have or how much people you have around you. When it goes down, it goes down. Okay, and this is coming from somebody who's done security for a whole bunch of people. But I'm going to let him continue to explain because he has a few more points that are very, very important for the people outside of the UK who might not be able to understand, even like myself.
And I did hear Top 5, and he's a Aki. So inshallah, I hope he's good. And I did hear Top 5 kind of make a little joke about our knives and whatever, boom, boom, boom. Like London's not serious or the UK's not serious. The UK is a very serious place. The last time Drake came here, his after party got shot up, bro. This is what's happened. Is out there. Like, do you know what I mean? It's happened. This is what happened.
So you can see how he explained right there. It's no joke in the UK, and we're completely aware of that. But he also mentioned that Drake's after party from the last time that he went out there got shot up, which is something that we weren't aware of, or maybe something that we heard and we just forgot about because there's so much news that comes down the pipeline. But that's pretty crazy for something that to be happening over there in the UK, especially a place where it's rumored where a lot of the criminals don't walk around with guns. They only do slashing, stabbings and stuff like that. Nah, that's cap. No matter how much you think that a lot of these guys are only walking around with knives, a lot of these guys are walking around with guns too.
How about that? And it's sad, you get me? And it's sad, but my brother, you shouldn't have even been walking around like that, bro. You should have just kept it exclusive. You should have kept it, stay around Drake and that, and go to and from. You didn't need to be outside no after parties to get lit, especially in Hackney, bro, or in any of these areas, bro, because it's real.
So just for clarification, so y'all don't kill me in the comments, I guess the area is called Hackney, and the club that he was performing at or was supposed to appear at was the Manor House, okay? And just to make sure that that's the point that was made also. He was invited to do a walkthrough at the club when he was approached by a couple of gentlemen with balaclavas all masked up. You know how it goes. And somebody ended up slashing his neck and a little bit more, which we'll get to the details of a little bit later on in the video. However, one important thing that he does mention in this video is the fact that the Wassas were in town, and him as well as myself are not trying to incriminate anybody or make any correlation or connections to the Wassas being in town and the stabbing of Top5. However, he did mention that Top5, or he goes ahead to mention that Top5 doesn't have the same kind of connections as the Wassas have out there and the same kind of relationships because of the amount of times and the amount of trips that those guys have made over the years. And this, I think, is the first time that Top5 has ever been in the UK. I think that's an important thing that needs to be pointed out.
Central went to the yard and patterned up, bro, because what's happening is obviously you're in London, you want to show the dogs them you're outside, but bro, you got to understand people that you're trolling online that you fell out with, bro, they're always in London. They're always in London, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They're always in London, so they have relationships. It's how it goes, bro. It's like you have relationships. It's like prison, or it's like you have a relationship. And the sad thing about it is you're none of the wiser. And it's very important that people check in with the right people. Because it's all fun and games aside, guys. Everyone can troll. We live in London. Do you know what I mean? We live in London. We've brought up most of our time in London. When man steps, man openly does events. Do you know what I mean? We live, but we know how to maneuver and check in with the right people. That Ashton Hall guy, same thing. Like you lot are not checking in with the right people. It's like you're getting so big, but you ain't made alliances with the right people, but you.
So again, salute to Bouncer right there. He's talking about checking in with the right people. A lot of people underestimate the UK. They underestimate London, thinking that it's all tea and crumpets and French fries and stuff like that, or chips. However, you know, he's explaining right there, you got to check in over there too. And what from the video that we're going to get to right now, big salute to Tankz. He explained that Top5 did quote unquote check in with a few people. He was already moving around with some people that were over there from London, but things can always go left no matter who you check in with.
I was going to give based on the information that was given to me by sources. And I realized that sources are obviously going to tell me what they want to be put out there. Now it's looking like the story's changed because you're going to see a video of a car getting attacked. I was thinking it's Top5. Top5's crew kicking up that car. But from what it looks like here, because we've got a photo now of Top5 allegedly receiving treatment for stab wounds. He's on the floor. And we were told that it was a scratch, that it was minor. But this was just them trying to contain the story, I reckon, because it looks like it was a serious poking. Like it was a serious stabbing, not just a scratch like we were told. UKO was told the same. The exact same car that you see in the video getting kicked up It looks like that was the car Top 5 was rolling around in. In the photo, we can't make out if the windscreen is cracked, but the number plate is the same and the boot is open. So what it looks like happened is the Yak Boys decided to run up on Top 5 like 30 man deep, because the video is crazy that you're going to see, guys. The video's mad. It looks like Top 5's trying to get away in the car, and these guys are destroying his car. The video definitely looks.
So you can hear from Tankz for what he's saying there. That video that was rolling around online, and there was all the speculation whether that video had anything to do with the stabbing of Top 5. Now he's saying, and listen, this is also just another YouTuber, so we can't confirm this, that he's saying that this also has something to do with the whole Top 5 incident, and possibly Top 5 was in that vehicle when everything happened. 30 people rushed him. That's a whole different story than 2 people approaching him in the club. So this is why I'm saying there's a whole bunch of different details that are coming out from this story here. Also, I want to make sure to point out an article that came from the London Sun that was saying that Top 5 was actually stabbed in the leg. So that was a whole other conflicting story that was coming out from their mainstream media over there in London, which is crazy. So as you can see over here, here's an article from the Sun, a UK newspaper. There's a video from the scene where everybody's chasing the car and stomping on the car that everybody was watching earlier. Okay, and we're not going to show too much of that just due to YouTube guidelines. But as you go through the article, it mentions here Canadian rapper Hassan Ali, who performs under the stage name Top 5, was stabbed in the leg after watching his friend Drake perform in London. Okay, so, and it says shocking footage shows the group climbing on the white Mercedes and stamping on the windscreen. Roughly a dozen men were seen trampling on the vehicle before about 3 dressed in white shirts began mercilessly kicking the driver. And then over here, it mentions again, a spokesman added, the victim, a man in his 20s, was approached by a group who damaged his car before stabbing him in the leg. He was taken to hospital with his injuries, but is not believed to be life-changing. And also another angle before we continue and get to the final details of how Top 5 is doing right now. This video by Tankz also explains maybe another reason why he might be having the beef due to the ongoing issue between UK drill rapper Loski and our own presser.
Another rumor why people think he got touched in London is because of his beef with Loski, the Harlem Spartans guys. You're probably thinking, how the hell does this Toronto rapper Drake's alleged shooter have beef with freaking Loski's lot, bruv? Especially because even a month ago, Top 5 posted this screenshot of him on FaceTime with Loski, showing that they had quashed the beef. But people know this doesn't even mean anything, because Loski might forgive him, but Loski's peoples might not forgive. I ain't letting this go. You know what I mean? Because this Top 5 guy dissed Lats, like their deceased friends, and they did this about like 8 months ago. I think it was when M24 was in Toronto, and we all know M24 doesn't like Loski, so it's no surprise. The M24's made countless songs dissing his ops dead friends, but for Top 5 here, it was
my UK homie.
Come on, you know the vibe. My boy, Top 5.
Can somebody find us that lax?
Okay, find us that,
Big pack.
And now, why did Top 5 diss Lats? Well, Top 5 used to be cool with Presser. You know, Canada Goose fur. I'm so cold, bruh. Back to school shopping, I just bought a ruler. You see, you need to tap in with these Toronto rappers like K-Money. Like, all these Toronto rappers on the melodic thing, they're very, very cold. Listen. But Top 5 has been called a snitch by Presser. I'm not sure where that's come from. That beef has stemmed recently. But the beef between Loski and Presser being the person Top 5 doesn't like anymore, hence why he's now patched up with Loski, I assume. Loski still says he didn't mean it like this, but he says he commented send them to who under Presser's ops Instagram post. And Houdini is one of he's a rapper who is deceased, and he was Presser's friend. And then this guy, BFR Bundog, I believe Presser's brother or something like that, an associate, he said send them to Lats. And yeah, that's where it started, literally. But Top 5, apart from being Drake's shooter.
So salute to Tankz. He definitely seems like he's tapped into the whole Toronto scene, and also obviously the Montreal scene, and he got pretty much everything right there. Bundog is actually Presser's brother, and there is a whole ongoing issue between the GGGs and the BFR, aka Blue Blue Feather Records camp. But once again, I'm not putting any correlation of this stabbing between that and the whole issue that's been going on over here in Toronto. Now, we have received some updates on Top 5's condition via DJ Akademiks. DJ Akademiks has been keeping up with everything while being on vacation, and he's recently taken to his IG, giving an update saying that he has spoken to Top 5 via FaceTime, giving us an update on everything that's been going on in this whole crazy story.
Cut, like, and they cut all the way here, right? And I think he might have another cut, but like his face was like kind of laid down on the pillow. So, you know, he said he could drink water. That's good. You drink water. You're gonna check him again in the morning. You know, I think he's on like a blood thinner or something like that. He lost a lot of blood. Yeah, nah. I think he's appreciative. I think he's appreciative of like he said to me. He said, "Yo," he's like, "Yo, Ak, I feel like I got a new chance at life." So I like clearly he was thinking about he could die. You know what I mean? So like that was his words to me. He said, "Yo, Ak, I feel like I got a new chance at life." I'm like, yeah. Now Top 5 is good. I spoke. He has like a big laceration. You know, it was kind of deep. He lost a lot of blood. He went through surgery. He's gonna have full recovery. That's a fact. But it's gonna take a little while. You know, but yeah, I think he said it was like 17 inches. But you know, but I ain't gonna lie, they for what it's worth, yes, somebody definitely went, you know, try to kill him. There's like mad rumors and like fake stuff about it. That video is not real. So that video that they're saying is Top 5, like that's not Top 5. He told me, he said he was at this after party spot. You know, he felt like people followed him, and he was taking a picture with a fan while he was going into the club. Because I asked him where his homies was at, and he's like, "Yo, I was with 20 people. I get to the spot. I get there earlier than them. I'm walking in the spot. I think they're already there. So really, I'm alone." And then, you know, he goes to take a picture with someone, and you know, somebody kind of ran up on him. You know, but again, I'm gonna just throw the allegedly on there because I know everybody like running with the false things. This got nothing to do with the UK. Like, respectfully, it did happen in the UK. Has nothing to do with the UK. It's a good meme. That's what I'm saying. Online will create a whole story, and it's completely wrong. It has nothing to do with him saying earlier in the day, "There's no like killers." It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. There's some whole other shit. You know, just not that. So I know people want to believe it's like, "Yo, the UK slid." No, respectfully, he was there. He was there from days. Like, you know, there was nothing, no bad blood. I don't know if you know, but he just know what it's not. He know what it's not. Okay, it's not some random UK guys that attacked him because he said there was no killing. Nah. Not that. He was getting a lot of love in the UK.
So there you have it via DJ Akademiks. And with all the conflicting stories that have been going on, I think I'm going to go with what DJ Akademiks is saying. You know, the son over there in the UK has given a wild story about him getting stabbed in the leg. They got some of the details right, but I'm going to go with somebody who actually spoke to Top 5 directly. And from what Akademiks is saying, he received a laceration down the neck, which is a crazy, crazy injury. And there's a possible other injury to his face as well. So we'll definitely keep everybody updated on everything as the news rolls in. He seems to be okay. He's not in critical condition. He's going to be recovering and he's able to speak. So let's see what Top 5's next move is. As you heard from DJ Akademiks, he's saying that he got a new lease on life, and he's obviously been through his ups and downs in this game. So we'll see what happens once Top 5 touches back down on Canadian soil, if he keeps up with the same antics as before, or maybe he might have a whole different outlook on life and start changing his ways from the antics that we're used to. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are we going with the story that Akademiks has brought to us here from his live stream, or are we going with the mainstream media in the UK on the UK Sun? Who do you think got the story correct? Also, let me know in the comments below, what do you think Top 5 is going to do once he recovers and he's back here on Toronto soil? Or is he going to be turning a new leaf on life, or is he going to be back to the same old shenanigans? Let's talk about it in the comments below. I read all comments and try to respond to as many as possible. Hit that like button on the way out. We are off of this. Deuces.
We love hip hop.